Okay. I don't know how to start this, but hi, I'm NA Frog, or Nafrog, or Naf. You can call me whatever you want, to be honest. But this is my first YouTube video, and I want to make it the best I can for your experience and for mine. I'd like some feedback and some criticism at the end of the video if you like it. If you don't, tell me what I did wrong. Let me know if I need to improve on some things or my mic quality or maybe even better stories. And if you have any stories, put them in the comments, please. And I know all YouTubers say it, like and subscribe if you do like the content. Today, I'll be reading some Emma the Asshole stories on Reddit. A lot of people do this, and I really do enjoy actually reading these stories. So, without further ado, we'll get into it. Am I the asshole for accusing my middle-aged mother-in-law of faking being hospitalized and refusing to let her stay with us? My husband is 57 and I am 49. My mother-in-law is 81. She used to be very independent, but since my father-in-law passed away a few years ago, her health has been declining. She can walk and take care of herself, she's just frail. And she's become much more soft-spoken and generally nice. Being perfectly honest, she never used to be easy to get along with, you could say. And my husband agrees. But anyways, that's alright. I didn't have much contact with her, and she had her own life. My husband visited maybe once every few months because we live very close to her, about half an hour away. Recently, though, she wants him to visit more often, and she gets upset when she isn't invited to things we were doing. For example, we recently went on a trip to celebrate my husband's birthday, and he didn't want to bring her because it would really kind of limit the sort of activities we could do. She insisted we should have gone to a chill trip and brought her. Last week, we had gone to visit my family. My mother-in-law called my husband, and she said she was really sick and admitted into the hospital. My husband obviously panicked. We both took a flight that evening back home to see what was wrong. It turned out she was totally fine and apparently had a mild cold. She spoke to the doctor and she said my mother-in-law had said she couldn't breathe, and when the doctor said she can go home, she insisted on being admitted. I told my husband it sounds like she just wanted to admit so that she would be able to make you come back and check on her. He was appalled, but later agreed that it didn't kind of make sense and sounded like something she would do. He wants to stay with us now because she is sick. I said no, she's faking it, and I don't want to deal with her all day. My husband thinks I'm being a selfish asshole. The verdict of this post was she was an asshole. The next story that I'm going to be reading is a little longer, so keep in mind if I go quiet for a second or I stop talking, it's because I need to kind of catch up on the reading. Alright, our next story is Emma the asshole for dumping my girlfriend after she expected me to pay for everyone on her birthday. I, 24 male, and my girlfriend, 24 female, have been dating for 4 years. On my girlfriend's 21st birthday, 2 weeks ago, actually, I booked a table at a pretty nice restaurant for me, her, and 4 of her friends. I want to clarify beforehand that I earn quite a bit more than my girlfriend. I cover all the rent and utilities for our apartment, while she covers the household expenses and like groceries and such. While at the restaurant, I noticed how she and all of her friends ordered some of the most expensive items on the menu. At the time, I thought it would only be covering mine and my girlfriend's bills, so I wasn't really concerned. When the bill arrived and the waiter asked if he would like to split the bill, I said yes. I told the waiter that what my girlfriend and I ordered would be on me, and the rest should be decided between her friends. The bill totaled around 1,100 euros. I remember the smiles being wiped off their faces as soon as I said that. I ended up paying for my girlfriend's and my food, while her friends paid for theirs. I remember the car ride home being awfully silent, and I kept asking my girlfriend, is there something wrong? But she kept insisting that she wasn't, she was just tired and nothing was wrong. And so she was just tired. My girlfriend ended up giving me the silent treatment for the next week. I would keep asking her if something was wrong, but she would always refuse to say what's the issue. The thought of me paying, being the culprit, kept creeping into my mind, but I would always reassure myself by telling myself that my girlfriend wouldn't be dumb enough to expect me to pay for everyone's food. I just lost it. Last Monday, on demand, and I demanded an answer. She ended up telling me that I embarrassed her in front of her friends, but not paying by not paying for everyone. I asked her why it was my responsibility to pay. She just told me that since I organized everything and I was the man, I was obligated to pay for everyone. We ended up getting into the heated argument and ended up staying at my parents' for the next couple of days to gather my thoughts. Well, he stayed at her parents'. I came home last Friday and her attitude towards me did not change one bit. When I confronted her again, she told me to transfer the money her friends paid for the food, and only then would she talk to me. We got into another heated argument, and I broke up with her then and there, telling her to pack her things. While leaving, she called me a broke boy and wished me good luck finding another girlfriend with the brokey mentality. I almost lost it immediately, regretting to dumping her on the spot for something that in the grand scheme of things, is really small. Um, I don't know if I misread that, but I think it says I almost immediately regretted dumping her. So he regretted all of this. She sent me an apology yesterday for calling me those names, but she insisted on paying her friends back. I wanted to make our relationship work, so I've been a mess since, and I don't want to throw away 4 years with someone I consider to be my future mother of my kids. I could have given her friends heads up that I wouldn't be covering for them, and I know that's completely my fault, but her behavior over the past 2 weeks has also been quite concerning for me. But again, I love her too much for this situation to be the end of our relationship. I just want to swallow my pride and send her friends the money and forget about everything. Am I the asshole here? Did I overreact? Should I apologize to send her friends the money? I kind of want to add my thoughts to this one because it's so. I find it bizarre to not bizarre really, but more or less hilarious. And I only think I see these people on TikTok or YouTube videos, and I don't believe there's girls or guys even out there that think a broke mentality or something like that is in somebody. It's called watching your money. It's called financially being stable and responsible of your money. And for her to want to have her boyfriend pay for all of her friend's shit is insane to me because it's not something that he should be responsible for, and I'm pretty sure most people know that. If you don't know that, I mean, you might want to look at yourself for a second and consider why you want somebody else paying for all of your people that you know. It's your friends. If you're that concerned about them, pay yourself. Pay for them yourself. Do not tell them to pay for your friends. Like don't tell your partner that, because that is how you get not only an argument, but that is how you get a partner that's going to resent you over time and is really just going to make you feel that it was all your fault, which it is if you're doing this to somebody. And don't react like how she did. It's petty. It's messed up. It makes other people feel horrible, and you think that you're in the right for it. So don't be that way. Okay, the next post. This one's also going to be pretty long, but this one was posted 18 days ago. I'm going to start trying to put in the times and everything, but I can't really remember on the spot. Our next post is, am I the asshole for thinking about breaking up with my boyfriend because he doesn't allow me to have close friends of the opposite sex? I, 29 female, have been dating my boyfriend, 31 male, for about 6 months. He's a great guy, very loving and caring. The only issue is that we have different backgrounds, upbringings, and thus different approaches to gender roles in our friendships. For me, male-female friendships has always been something normal. My mother and male friends, and my father and female friends. Actually, my mother's best friend is my godfather, and my father's best friend is my godmother. He has more traditional approaches. He believes that a man should only be friends with other guys, and a woman should only be friends with other women. He allows for their existence and distant acquaintances of the opposite sex, but nothing more. The problem is that all my close friends are men. This doesn't mean that I have any problem with women. I have a lot of female acquaintances, and I also have very good relationships with the girlfriends and wives of my male friends. It just happens to be like this. I'm a researcher in a male dominated field. Most of my friends are people I met at work, in college, or while doing my PhD. Most of my friends have girlfriends or wives, although my best friend has a boyfriend and he's bisexual. And absolutely nothing sexual or ambiguous has ever happened between us. As she specifies, until now, it has only seemed normal for me to go out with one of my male friends or a few for a beer or drinks once every 2 weeks or something like that. I usually meet my friends one on one because I'm a fairly introverted person and I believe that valuable, serious, and deep conversations can only be had face to face. From time to time, I invite them to my house or visit them at their apartments. We sometimes talked until morning, but I repeat, nothing ever happened or went beyond friendship. I also had a vacation planned with my friends every year. With my best friend, the one who has a boyfriend, every summer I would go to our favorite spa for a few days, and with a group of doctoral colleagues. We would go to a nearby lake, also for a few days. Their girlfriends and wives sometimes traveled with us, and sometimes they preferred to spend time with their own friends. None of them were ever jealous of me. My ex boyfriend, with whom I was with for 5 years, also never had a problem with this. We parted amicably. He got a job abroad, and I didn't want to go away to leave my aging parents. But both my friends, partners are more or less the same. Progressive background and make male/female friends is a natural for them as it's for me. My current boyfriend told me he is uncomfortable with it. I tried to understand him and said that we can work it out, compromise solutions. I suggest that I can meet my friends only in a public place, i.e., not invite them to my home or visit them in an apartment, and that during such meetings I would text my boyfriend regularly, even every half hour, so that he would know that I'm thinking about him and I'm not doing anything suspicious. He said that for him, it's not enough. He confesses that he would prefer if I met with my friends only in his company. He said that as a last resort, I could meet with one of my friends one on one once in a while, but only during the day and only for an hour or two. At this point, I got really upset. I said that these conditions are unfair, especially since he often goes out drinking with his friends and doesn't answer any of my calls or messages when he's out. He said that it's different because none of my friends are women. I wouldn't care if they were. He suggests that I should just make new friends who are female, and he wouldn't care if I was out all night partying with my girlfriends. I abruptly ended the conversation because I didn't know what to answer. Friends are not pieces of furniture that can just be replaced with new ones. He's really important to me, and I considered breaking off my friendships, but I'm afraid that when a honeymoon period is over, I will regret this decision because I will be left completely alone with this relationship, as my only significant impersonal bond will be my boyfriend. I'm still waiting for my boyfriend to accept this condition, but I'm increasingly inclined to leave him after all throughout it will be very difficult for me because in everything else we get along perfectly. Well, WIBTA, if I leave solely for this reason. I don't know what that abbreviation means. You can leave it in a comment. Edit. Okay, I didn't expect many responses. Thank you for the time and advice. I will try to leave another calm conversation with him on the subject, understand where his insecurities are coming from, and try to convince him that he has no reason to worry. But if that doesn't work, I'll tell him that we're no match for each other, and it's better if we just split up. One more thing, I badly expressed myself. I was not considering breaking up my friendships, but adjusting his terms and meeting my friends only in his company. But I couldn't do that. It seems to me that I have the right to talk to my friends without the presence of my boyfriend. Besides, in practice, it would mean that my friends would become my acquaintances and he would drift apart. So what do I do? The verdict on this has not been addressed yet. There is no asshole or non-asshole. Um, Personally, my thoughts on this is I get where the guy might be coming from. Um, I'm not saying I'm rooting for him or he's in the right or she's in the wrong. But personally, when it comes to guy friends, generally in the beginning of a relationship, you're going to be suspicious and you're going to you're going to feel uncomfortable, and you're not going to feel like normal, because if you're not used to seeing a girl that you know have a bunch of guy friends, or a guy that you know have a bunch of girlfriends, you're going to definitely get insecure, especially if you don't feel that confident about yourself. And I understand that. Personally, I don't have this issue, not too much. I do get defensive and I do get a little jealous time to time, or very much time to time, especially if they're acting too much buddy buddy. And we don't know how these dudes act around his girlfriend, but it sounds like they've been friends for so long and they all have relationships that it shouldn't be a problem for him to worry about them pulling a move. They don't sound like bad people, kind of. I mean, we don't really know too much, but they don't sound like bad people if she's known them for this long and none of them have tried anything. Um, Another thing I will add is guys can be shady, and guys will be shady if they really do want this person, and they will go out of their way to do anything that they want just to try to get on their good side and try to get in a place with them. It's how most guys function, and that's not a lie. I know plenty of guys, I have friends that have done this, not being shady or being conspicuous. It's just they stay friends with a girl hoping for a chance with them. And then as soon as they don't have the chance with them, they don't stay friends anymore with them. Or if they do, it's because they think they have a later chance with them. And that's definitely a mindset a lot of men have. Um, Personally, I I had that mindset back then, and I got out of it. I have a girlfriend. I'm able to talk with other females, not deeply, but I'm able to joke with them and just say general things and not feel like I need to date them or I'm in that relationship with them of a friendship to be a part of their lives for the rest of it. It's not my goal. I just like to talk to people that have the same interests as me, and if they're female, that's how it is. If you have this mindset, I just suggest getting out of it. It's not good for people. It's not good for you. It's not good for a lot of people, and it's it's just it's just wrong to me, at least. Okay, last story. This one's a little more shorter than both of those two that I just read. So we're just gonna end it up on one that has a response and is posted 17 days ago. Am I the asshole for breaking off an almost 9 month relationship because she wanted a fancy wedding, no matter the cost? That is insane. Um, to me, it sounds insane. Like, I'm broke, so money wise, it sounds insane to me. But I'm not old enough to know about it. I'm 23, she's 20. I said that for me, it's just a day or event for which I wasn't willing to spend more than $5,000 for, and to waste even more money from my family's side just to showcase a fancy wedding, and wanted to invest money into our future, be it more home renovations, savings towards the kids, and holidays together. Horrible punctuation on this, but I'm going to read it the best I can. She insisted that she wanted a fancy wedding, so we sat down with a wedding planner, and she told me what she envisioned and what would be insanely a cost of $50,000. Money which I don't have laying around, and money that I would not be willing to spend for one ceremony. I told her that if she wants such a wedding, I'm not the guy. She kept trying to convince me and gaslighting me how it's her youth and it's a one-time lifetime event that will last her an eternal memory, and all of her friends and colleagues can be there, etc., etc. She wasn't willing to compromise towards a smaller, more reasonable wedding, and I broke it off, essentially kicking her out of my own house to go live with her parents. A few days later, she kept calling me to reconsider, and I said, "You had plenty of chances. I'm not doing this again. Her parents are trying to convince me to patch this up, but I refuse to bend, and quite frankly, deem it as a massive red flag that I could potentially ruin my life in the long run. I rather find a girl that wants something similar and places more importance on a future where me and her together have a meaningful wedding celebration. Everyone tells me how I'm a dickhead and so hard headed in my circles, but I think I made a hard but right decision since I'm still young and capable. This isn't it." I don't know what the "this isn't it" part was about at the very end. I don't know what that led on to. Some parts were a little rocky, but I tried to interpret them the best I could. I'm just gonna read some comments for the end of this and see what other people said instead of giving my own opinion. Even though I think 50,000 is insane, and I could never do that to myself. Even if it was for a wedding, I'd have to be like 30, and I've had a job for 5 years straight with a shit ton of savings loaded, because that's a lot of money. Like, that is genuinely a lot of money. Um, Comment here said, not the asshole. Your ultimate plan is focusing on marriage, not the wedding, which is the right idea. I will say that planning a wedding after only 9 months is a bit premature, especially at your ages. Yeah, 20 and 23, very young, and a $50,000 wedding at that age is insane to me, because I want to know what he does for a job to even have her thinking that he could afford that. Because I will, I don't know how they live. I don't know where they might live, but if he's saying he has a house, that's also crazy, because at 23 owning a house in this world, that's I'm pretty jealous. Personally, I'm pretty jealous. Another comment here says, "OP, as I indicated above, your focus was the correct one. What your divorced was incompatibility. Better late than never. Your ex is only 20. I doubt she's the peak of emotional slash psychologically mature. By the way, traditionally, it's a bride's parents who sponsor the wedding. That certainly could have been your counter proposal to her parents." I will say that age does not really matter for maturity. A lot of younger people are definitely incompetent, and I use that word lightly, honestly, because it's thrown around so much, incompetence. Um, in reality, a lot of people just don't have that much experience with certain things or certain actions. They might have had it they're younger, but they might have not been as serious. Now, if you did have those life experiences, I respect that. And if you did mature off of it, that's even better. I've done quite the mental aging when I was growing up. I'm not fully around there, but I'm definitely slowly coming into pace on how the world operates and how people operate. And I just need to keep learning off of it. And younger people, they need to keep learning too. Everyone needs to keep learning, no matter your age. Even if you're 50, you could still be a piece of shit that doesn't know how feelings work or how people work. Now, if you're someone who's older and you take things lightly and you don't care about things, you're cool to me, because a lot of people don't take things lightly anymore. A lot of people do take things to heart. And this guy right here, he's honestly just trying to better himself and better his future. And I think that's really mature of him. I think he is with the wrong person, and that, he needs to develop his own relationship in the future with a person that's more compatible, like he said. All right, and I'm going to be ending all of the video here. I don't really know how to do an outro or anything, or say anything to tell y'all, but like I said at the beginning, like and subscribe. Give me a comment. Definitely give me a comment, please. I really need feedback, because I don't know what I'm doing, and this is the first time I'm doing it. So just let me know what you thought. Tell me what I need to do. Slap me in the face or the butt. But yeah, thank you for listening. This is Naf, or NA Frog, or Nafrog. And have a good day.